I have seen things that nightmares are made of. Do you believe in ghosts?
The small city of Benton in southern Illinois was named after Missouri Senator Thomas Hart Benton. It was organized as a village in 1841 on 20 acres of donated land and became a city in 1902. Being the county seat of Franklin County, it houses the county courthouse on its public square and is the home of the second largest man-made lake in Illinois, Wren Lake, with 162 miles of shoreline. Quite a few well-known people are from Benton, including TV and movie star John Malkovich, Grand Ole Opry singer Billy Grammer, NBA coach and player and Olympic basketball player Doug Collins, former NBC Vice President Lynn Boland, and General John A. Logan of the Mexican-American and American Civil Wars. On April 19th of 1928, Benton was the site of the last public hanging in Illinois, when infamous gangster and bootlegger Charlie Berger was hung for the murder of nearby Mayor Joe Adams. Over 5,000 people showed up to watch the hanging. There were people as far as you could see around the jail. They had even climbed up into the trees to witness the hanging. In 1963, soon-to-be world-famous George Harrison of the Beatles spent some time at the home of his sister Louise in Benton. While there, Louise promoted her brother locally, where he performed with a band called the Four Best at a local VFW in nearby El Dorado, Illinois. He also did a radio interview with radio station WFRX. During this interview, it is reported that the first Beatles song was played in America. The song was called From Me to You. One of Benton's historical buildings restored and preserving her past is the Franklin County Historic Jail Museum on Main Street. It houses native Benton mementos, Civil War and 1920s gangster and prohibition memorabilia, as well as the County Tourism Bureau. In the fall of 2016, Cy received an email from Bill Owens at the museum explaining that there had been some strange things happening on the property that could not be explained. The activity seemed to be increasing and more people were experiencing things, so he had decided to invite some paranormal teams in to investigate. On December 3rd of 2016, Cy members Mike Flickner, Amber Royalty, and Mark Wyatt took a tour of the property with Bill and later did an investigation. The museum is an awesome place, and Bill Owens obviously has a true love and passion for the building and its contents. His knowledge of the city and its people, as well as its history, is proof of that, and we had a wonderful time just being in the building with him. We cannot thank Bill enough for inviting us, and we will definitely return in the future. This was our night in the Franklin County Jail.
My name's Bill, and I volunteer here a couple days a week. I'm one of only 2 people that volunteer to keep the place open on a daily basis. It used to be, I think there were 5 or 6 people that would do so, but for the most part, they've all gotten older, senior citizens, and they just really they're not motivated to do it anymore. Awareness of strange activities, strange things going on, and then myself and the other woman that works here, who's worked here for going on 25 years, now starting to say, yeah, that doesn't make sense, that, I know, all these things. So anyway, So it's been a few months now. We took a vote on a board of directors meeting, and I brought up, I said, look, something we might want to think about doing is just open the museum in the evenings and at night and see if anybody's interested, not just for paranormal, but just come in off the streets, because this is kind of a neat place to come to at night, because we got all this old antique lighting, and it's just really reasons why it's a museum and everything. So it was built in 1905, opened in 1906 as the county jail, and it was in operation as a jail until 1990, and it was shut down and it was about to be demolished. So one of the ideas that they first had to raise some money was they wanted to open this as a haunted house for Halloween, for like the months of October, for I think it was 92 and 93. So recently I found this. This was the original flyer for the haunted house in 92, 93. And I just found that like 3 weeks ago up in the attic. And it was hand drawn. It was a flyer. It was all done by hand. So it was really successful. It was like one of the most successful haunted houses in all of southern Illinois. So an interesting story came up, and you may have read this, I kind of included it on the email I sent, was that when they were setting up this haunted house, they got volunteers from the high school to come in, kids, and they're, building everything in here, and they started saying, hey, we heard Charlie Berger's spirit lives in here. And they were asking the guy in charge, named Bob, they were saying, is that true? And right as he's getting ready to answer, we had lightning struck the building and knocked out all power and scared the kids, and they left. The majority of the museum is based on the 20s era gangsters that basically controlled all of Illinois up. Basically in the 20s, gangsters controlled all of Illinois. You had the Chicago gangsters controlled everything up there, and then these guys that you saw in the video controlled everything south. St. Louis, to Evansville, on down into Cairo, Kentucky. So they were bootleggers, they ran gambling and prostitution, drugs, whatever you name it, they did it. So the most notorious was Charlie Berger and his gang. He had 50 to 100 guys coming and going, living and dying under him, and he was a pretty bad guy, although he was able to convince a lot of the coal miners in the area that he was a good guy because he supplied their entertainment. So anyway, a lot of this stuff you're going to see is real Berger memorabilia that we... So it's ironic that you're here because this is actually the 90th anniversary of Mayor Joe Adams being shot to death on his front porch. That is the whole reason why Charlie Berger was hanged. Wow. So if you look right here in this case, there's a drawing there of a guy getting shot. The two guys were brothers. They were Thomason brothers. One was a teenager, one was 21 or 22 years old. Berger basically commissioned them to go out. I need you to take care of this mayor. We've had enough. Do him in. They showed up at his front door, handed his wife a note. She called Joe out, and they said, "You're Joe?" And I said, "Yeah." And boom, they shot and killed him. He was a big guy. He weighed over 300 pounds. And this is the basket that they transported his body in once he was pronounced dead. So the reason why they killed him is he was put in office in West City as mayor by the Shelton gang, which was rivals with the Berger gang. Territory disputes. And this big truck here, this was an armored truck, and Berger found out that Adams was hiding that truck for the Shelton gang, and when he did, he said, "That's enough. We're going to do him in." So this was the Berger gang's armored truck. That was Shelton's. They would drive up and down the roadways throughout southern Illinois and get into major gun battles. Many, many men lost their lives because of that, including KKK members. So in essence, there were 3 gangs running Illinois: KKK, Shelton's, and Bergers. So a lot of KKK history in this building. The whole front of the building was living quarters for the sheriff and his family. And excuse me, up until this point, The building looked a little bit different. It was opened up to make it into a museum, you know, so we could fit better, bigger exhibits in here. But for the most part, it's still pretty close to how it looked. We tried to keep it as original as possible. So when go ahead, you're out there, walk right in there into that enclave right there. I want you to look through this peephole here.
Okay.
So if you look, see where my finger is?
Oh, yeah.
If you look through there, that's where they bring witnesses. And you can look through there and they can line inmates up here. That's where they would do a lineup to identify criminals. A lot of people ask what that is because they don't know, so I just bring it up. So this is the lower cell block, which eventually became what was known as the men's cell block. So there's a lot of cool things in here, but it's as original still as it looked. You know, I would say probably going back to the 40s, and it was, you know, painted a few times. This right here is a shower stall, and there's some pretty bad stuff that occurred in there. And if you look at that window that's in there, it's busted. And if you look even closer, there's some blood stains on there still that runs down the door. So somebody probably either punched it or got their head slammed into it. But there's years, you know, almost 100 years of graffiti on these walls. A lot of people come in and they say that they feel bad things in this cell here. And I'm not talking about anybody that's paranormal related. I'm just talking about people come in, pay their money, and go through and like, wow, that one, I got an eerie feeling here. And I'll say, take me back there and show me what you're talking about. And they say, this one. For some reason, that's the only one that the door's shut on. I've tried to open it and I can't get it to open. When I'm here, sitting up there at the desk, a lot of times I'll hear this. And of course it's not that loud in the front, but I'll hear that. And I was like, okay, what was that? And I'll come back here and I'll do a walkthrough, and sometimes I think maybe there's somebody still in and I forgot, you know, and they haven't left yet, but never is. So I don't know what causes that, but it happens a lot. This is the radio station studio where George Harrison was interviewed back when he was a teenager and he would come and visit. The very first Beatles record ever played in the United States was played on this turntable. That's the table and the microphone over there to your left where he was interviewed. We really have no idea what the value of this is, but it's, I mean, people come in here, you know, and there's in disbelief. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna get into some more burger stuff here. To your right, you can see a picture of Burger being escorted by his rabbi just prior to the hanging. But if you look at that picture for a while, it's kind of important for you guys to see that, because in the background, you'll see a lot of people next to some wrought iron, which is right up next to the jail. I'm going to take you there, but that's where he would come up out of the basement. And as he came up through there, the wicker basket, like the one that's down in that case that they put Joe Adams in, he had a similar one that they were going to place his body in. So as he came up, he saw that basket. So whenever we get to that, I'll tell you what occurred there. But anyway, that was, well, I'm going to tell you why that is. That was the other thing I was going to point out. He's always sort of in, like he's in disbelief, but he is smiling. And there's a reason for that. It's because, come on in here. This was his cell where he spent 1 year. So this door here would have been shut and locked, and this one was open. So he had access to this corridor. He could come look out the windows, and from right here he could look out the window and see the gallows being built, and then he could see a lot of what was going on in the town as well. So he would be out here and there'd be people coming to see him, and they'd be throwing up candy up to the window to him and biscuits or whatever they could get up here, you know, because a lot of people really liked him. But while he's standing here looking out, he could tell the carpenters building the gallows, "Hey, you boys, make sure you build that good, that's for me." And he'd yell at kids to be playing on it, saying, "Get off of that, that's for me," you know. So anyway, here's some random photographs. This is after he was hanged. They're examining him to make sure he's dead. Now, if you remember in the video, it said hanged by the neck until dead, dead, dead. Well, the reason why is it's not because they're just saying make sure that dude's dead. They had to have 3 separate medical examiners look at him, and all of them agree that he was dead, because there was a lot of speculation that a body double was used, first of all, and that he wouldn't be really pronounced dead because they thought maybe he had paid off people to fake his death. So all these different scenarios. So they wanted to make sure he was dead. So even after they did that, even after 3 medical examiners said, yes, he's dead, people still didn't believe it. And that went on for years until finally the coroner came out, public announcement, said, look people, that blankety blank was dead. I saw him, his neck was stretched out to almost 19 inches. So anyway, yeah, he was dead. Alright. So in here you'll see that's the gallows. That's the original gallows that we have preserved. Those were those were located south of here in Murfreesboro, Illinois. They were in a barn. But those were used to hang other people, not only those that were preserved. This is the last one.
Okay, we are here at the Benton Jail Museum in Benton, Illinois. And we are up in the solitary cell where Charlie Berger was held, the famous gangster. We're going to see if we can make contact with him here. If there's any presence in this room that'd like to make itself be known, can you please do so now? By either making a noise, moving an object, stating your name, or can you touch one of us? If you are here, can you show yourself? Does that thump anybody in this room? What was that again? I've placed several objects on the floor. One is a round object. Aha, you found the millimeter. Thank you. If you walk up closer to that meter, you can make the siren go off. Would you be willing to do that? Can you say that again, please? Charlie, is that you? If that's you, can you step up closer to the meter and make the siren go off? Hello? Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, we do. Can you take a step back now to show me that you can hear me? All you have to do is step back from it. Thank you. Are we speaking to Charlie Berger? Please take a step back. I want to talk with you further. Who's ever standing by the meter, please take a step back. Thank you. Yes, sir. Sound like you said you're welcome. Again, I ask you, is this Charlie Berger we're speaking with? If so, there's a round object on the floor. If you go near it, you may be able to make the lights flash on it. You all hear something in the background? Take another step back, please. Thank you. Is there anybody else in this area with us? Sounds like Charlie.
Charlie, is that you? Charlie, my name's Barb. And I'm Amber.
My name's Mike.
Be okay if we hung around and spoke with you this evening? We'd really like to talk to you.
If that's you, Charlie, step back from the meter. Thank you. Why are you still here? Can you tell us that? Hello? Hello? Yes? Yeah, I'm trying to speak with you. Stepped away from the meter. And temperature just dropped in there. Why the tone of the meter's dropped.
There's another object on the floor there that makes lots of lights light up if you want to get close to it.
You saw it?
Okay, cool.
Okay, will you walk up next to it, please? Or can you? Do you stay here all the time? Or can you come and go as please? You're here? Shut it. Shut what? Are you about to shut something?
Oh, that door is so long. Let me talking about the door that the man upstairs leaves shut a lot? And the cell blocks? Are you the one that cuts that all the time?
Can you shut it now? Can you bang on it? Hello?
You heard a lot about you. Splashing again. Hello? I'm having a little trouble hearing you.
Camera keeps going in and out of focus. Did you just walk by us? Yes, would you? It just did. Camera just went out of focus. Came back in, yes. It just did. Camera just went out of focus. Came back in, yes. It just did. Camera just went out of focus. Came back in, yes. If that was you, can you do that again? No, I'm getting it. I have bad chest pain. Is that you? I'm gonna have to cut this short. I can't stay in this area. Something's affecting me really bad.
Hello, this is Mike Flickner of the Southern Indiana Ghost Hunters. And while we were doing our investigation on the second floor in solitary confinement, we were in Charlie Berger's cell. And we were doing our investigation there, and I was actually thinking that I was contacting Charlie. When I asked him to come out and come forward, I seen the camera lens. It blurred out once, and then it came back into focus, and then it blurred out again. As soon as it blurred out the second time, I felt this tremendous pressure in my chest, as if somebody had just come up and hit me as hard as they could in the center of my chest. And it hurt really, really bad. And then it continued to hurt for a bit. So much that I had to ask for Barb Wyatt to take over the filming. And I had to move off to the side. It was still hurting as I was off to the side on the second floor for no reason whatsoever. However, once they concluded their session, Barb and Amber, and we started to head down the stairs, the pain ceased immediately. Could this have been Charlie mad because I was calling him out? Was he getting back at me? Was he attacking me? That choice is up to you all. But I can tell you this, I've never had anything come on so fast like that in my life and then dissipate completely, and I have not had a problem since.
Barb and Amber here now. Is that okay with you?
You messing with Mike?
Well, I'm on a friendly basis. I just want to come here to talk to you.
Yep, there with the camera again. Yeah, we're not here to cause any problems or any harm or any disrespect. We're here to learn.
Yeah, I just want to learn about you and a little bit about this place.
You still here with us?
powerful man.
Are you still here with us? You follow Mike. Still here?
Thank you. Can you tell us about anybody else that was here? Maybe somebody that you didn't like that was here when you were here? But if you don't want to talk about other people, maybe tell us a little bit about yourself.
Pardon me? Yep, that's what I thought. It's not the first time I heard it. We're having a really hard time hearing and understanding you. Could you try to speak a little louder for us, please? Tell me how long you were here. I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand that.
Owen's here.
Could you back away from that, please, for just a second? Thank you. Can you leave this place? Can you come and go, or are you always here? Can you move around the entire building, or are you just in this one area?
Okay, we are in the basement. In an area that, they used to bring prisoners down here to probably interrogate them, make them conform to their ways. I know there's a lot of brutalities that took place down here in this basement. It's very loud down here because there's furnaces down here, but we're going to see if we can communicate anyway. If there's any presence still here that would like to make itself be known, can you please do so now? Like making a noise? Moving an object? Stating your name? Or can you touch one of us? I've placed several objects on top of a barrel. There's a blue light over there. If you were to walk up next to that light and speak into it, we may be able to hear you. There's also a box with an antenna on it. If you were to get near it, you may be able to make the lights light up on it. And there's a round object. If you were to go by it, you may be able to make it light up. Is there anybody down here that would like to come forward? There's none of us here going to harm you. My name's Mike.
I'm Barb.
Can you tell us your name? I understand that there was a young lady that was brought here into this room, and she was in very bad shape. She'd been bleeding real bad. Does anybody down here know anything about that?
We don't want to interrogate you. We just like to talk with you. Ah, thank you.
Can you step up closer to that? There you go. Can you come around that bar? Can you point that bar toward us? If you go around that box, you may be able to make it light up.
It won't hurt you. Nothing we've got will hurt you. Thank you. Can you walk around that? Make the lights go around it? Don't be afraid of it.
Lots more on there. If you walk around it, it'll light up different colors.
Little flash on the button. Can you point that light toward us if you can hear us? If you can hear my voice. Please. We're getting hits on both meters now. I see that you're here. I see that you're here. I see that you're here.
Thank you very much.
Were you an inmate here at the jail?
Both lights are fluctuating almost in time with each other.
Is there just one person here with us? Can you try to speak to us, please? Really appreciate it if you tell us who you are and why you're here.
Can you tell us who you are? Did you used to work here? Are you a sheriff? You know, you can flash that bar of light to answer us too. Once for yes, twice for no, and 3 times for maybe. Were you a sheriff here? You flash it? Can you see us at all? Can you hear us?
I took on my jacket.
Are you still here? If so, can you go back to that, make that bar light up again? Please? before you are quickly setting on top of is the original gallows that was used on Charlie Burger. Yes, that's the last thing to use. Is there any presence up here that'd like to make itself be known? Can you please do so now? I've placed several objects. I see a flash. If you were to walk up to these objects, you may make the lights come up on them.
There you go.
There you go.
There's the siren.
Back away from it a bit so we can speak. So the siren will go off. Thank you. There's another blue light up there. If you were to speak into it, we may be able to hear you. Can you hear us? If you can hear us, please back away from the box again so the siren will go off. Take a step back. Thank you. Over it again. The siren's off because we went over it. There's a round object on the gallows. If you were to get close to it, you may be able to make the lights light up. Can you do that, please? Is there anybody here at all who'd like to come forward and speak with us? Hello? Hello?
Are there any ladies still awake up here? That's me. Here we go.